Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Welcome to Investors Playbook. I'm Cornell.
I'm Deshaun, and today, man, we really just talking about goals, bro. We have hit July 1st. We have hit the halfway mark of the year. So we want to just basically discuss and talk about the goals that we set at the beginning of the year. We all have our New Year's resolutions, all the things we want to achieve before the end of the year, but we halfway. All right, so we're going to talk about some of the things that me and Cornell had going on, some of the plans that we had. And of course, we just want to remind you all that your goals, if not achieved, are still within reach, and congratulate anybody who has achieved their goals so far. So definitely want to talk about that. Cornell, man, you want to just dive straight into it? Like, what are some of the goals that you had this year?
So really, I had some pretty big goals. Personal goals. Of course, I set some mentally, physically, and financially. I definitely, as far as physical, I definitely have been consistent in the gym. It's been a pretty big thing for me. I slacked off a little during the school year when I had a lot going on, but guess what? Right back on it. And then also, for the financial goal, I hit my mark earlier than I thought. Because really, this was a goal that was set for a full year, but I hit it earlier. So what I did, instead of saying, "Oh, I hit my goal, now I could just, do what I want, splurge everything," now I'm pushing that goal a little bit further because it's like, okay, this is a little too easy for me. Let's see what we can do in the next 6 months because I hit my year goal in 6 months. So imagine what I can do in the next 6 months. So I think it's important, and we've had this conversation, and I liked it a lot. Where if you hit your goal, that means it's time to come up with something harder. Challenge yourself a little bit more. Keep pushing. Don't become complacent. So, what about yourself, Deshaun?
Oh man, first I want to say kudos, bro. It's not very common that people have these New Year's resolutions and they actually like perform them, especially well before the year is even over. And I remember when you hit your goal, like it wasn't just yesterday. Like this was like months ago. You feel me? So
Mhm.
like kudos to that for sure. And I already know you stay consistent in the gym and stuff like that. So that's not even a surprise. But yeah, man, for sure. Congrats to that. And similar with me, man. Like I had made a decision to go to the gym every day. Like even if it was just like for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, if I just go to the gym and hang out in the sauna, it was really a discipline piece like that. Would just say every morning at 5:15, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go to the gym. That's just what you're gonna do. So me making that decision has definitely helped with my strength goal, my physical goal, the amount of water that I drink, like all of that, right? Um, so that was me just kind of having a consistent goal, wanting to get up, wanting to go to the gym, and I've been doing that consistently. So that already in itself is an achievement for me. But that's not one of those goals that get complete. That's just something you keep doing. You know what I mean? Um,
Lifestyle.
exactly, lifestyle change. But man, I bought a house this year, bro.
You
I
did,
finally
man.
bought a
You did.
house
You
this
did. You
year.
did.
I've been talking about this for I don't know how long, and every time the
Years.
conversation comes up, I'll be like, I'm a chill, hey, because I don't have, but I can talk now, bro. I got a
Yeah.
house. I've dealt with, you know, the conversations that you have with loan officers. I dealt with the people that you have when it comes to rehabbing a house. Like all those things are now in my wealth of knowledge because I finally did the thing that I've been wanting to do for a very long time.
Right.
So I am very, very happy about that for sure. And it's just up from here. Um, Continuing to grow and honestly purchase more homes, right? Like I have a home here in Cali now, and we talked about out of state real estate before. We even talked to Sam about it on a previous episode,
And Ashley.
and Ashley, right? So that's the next venture. You feel me? But for now, I do just want to say, all right, you purchased this home, but like you said, the goals don't stop there. You just make a new one.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that was the thing that I wanted to do in 2024 was purchase a home, and I made it happen. So
Hey,
definitely happy about that, bro.
and kudos to that, man, because there's a lot of adversity when it comes to buying a home. Anybody that's bought a home, you know this. It is not an easy process. Because
Mm-mm.
first, you have to go to a multitude of homes, which is crazy because you know driving to these homes is taxing already. Then you have to scope out the house that you want. And then after that, you go into your due diligence phase. You got to get the appraisal. You got to get the inspection. And if something doesn't match up, you scrap all that and do everything again. So this is costing money, time, resources. It's a crazy process. It's a crazy
Bro,
process. So man, kudos to you. You saw it through, and yeah, man,
appreciate
you
that.
made it,
Bro,
man. That's what's
appreciate
up.
that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man, for sure.
Congratulations, man.
Man, for sure. All right. So then something that I do just want to also say on this episode is like if you are working on your goal right now, I just want to kind of remind people to make sure that their goals are smart, right? We want to make sure that our goals are very specific. We don't want to just say, I want to make a lot of money. Like that's not a goal. That's not a smart goal, right? Just saying that you want to do this vague thing. I want to get stronger. I want to run faster. Like it helps to achieve a goal once you know what that goal is specifically. Like you had your goal. It wasn't I want to make a lot of money. It's I want to make this specific amount of money in this amount of time. Very smart, right? So you got specific. You got to make sure that it's measurable. You're able to track your progress. You just mentioned how hard it is to buy a house, but that's how you measure your progress. How many homes have you visited? How close did you get to closing? What happened when you didn't close? That way you can shift gears and say, all right, now this time when I close on this home, I'm going to do the thing that I didn't do last time, and not make that mistake. So you got to make sure that you're measuring the goals as well. Um, and then also just something that's attainable, right? You can't say, I mean, you can by all means be like,
Man,
man, I want to be a millionaire in 2 months.
I I think, man, that is a huge pet peeve of mine, man. Because you know, a lot of people they just throw out this word generational wealth, and it's like, okay, but what are you doing to achieve it? Like you're saying that it's not just gonna magically happen. You're not just gonna get this job that pays you $1 billion, $1 billion a year, and then you just be rich for the rest of it. It's not how it works, man. You have
Yeah.
to be intentional. This is a lifestyle change. It's a lifestyle change. If you're
Yes.
not putting any money aside, if you're not investing in anything, how do you expect generational wealth to happen?
Yeah.
I feel like people are relying, and I just had this conversation. I feel like people are solely relying on life insurance, and like it's just gonna change their whole family's life
That's, I mean, what you mean, like relying on someone in their family to pass away to get life
for
insurance?
to get generational wealth. This is the conversation. I actually just had this conversation last night.
Oh, sheesh. It was like, well, I'm straight because when my grandpa passes away, I'm gonna inherit all his money or something
It
like
was
that.
more of I wasn't able to reap the benefits of my parents because they didn't have this, but my kids are going to be straight because I have policies now. So it's not as far as like what they'll benefit. They don't, and that plays into self efficacy. You know, that's my favorite word. That plays into that because a lot of people don't believe that they can become wealthy. So
Yeah.
they try and find easy ways. And you know, life insurance, it sounds like an easy way, even though, you know, there are certain holes in it. But life insurance seems like a easy way. It's like you buy a policy when you die, your offspring becomes rich. That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
So people see that. I feel like people are using that as an out to working hard.
But I think the problem with that is, well, one, you have to no longer be here for that to work. And then two, unless you've taught your kids how to manage the amount of money that they're going to get, it will be gone just as fast as they got it. Generational wealth is more about passing down money. It's also passing down knowledge and understanding and saying, this is what you do with the money. This is how you can invest the money. This is how you can make the money last a lot longer. Because life insurance, that's that number, once that number hits, like it doesn't grow past that. It's not something that's going to grow on its own. At least I don't think so. You have to do something with that money. You have to invest it. But if you just receive that and then like, all right, we're gonna have this lavish ceremony. We're gonna pay about 100,000, and then I'm gonna buy me a house and I'm gonna buy me a car, and then all right, and now it's all gone. And then what? You just gonna go
Man,
back to working the same job you was working with your house and car, which cool, but it's like unless you taught them those skills to continue growing that money, that generational wealth will stop at that next generation and it will not continue past there. You feel
it's
me?
dope that you brought that up because that goes back to our conversation with Dr. Rumby
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm.
she was speaking about it's not
Yeah.
just about passing down assets. Because I asked her that question. I said, "What does it look like when you don't have any assets, but you're writing a will?" And she said that it's not just about passing down assets; it's about passing down ideals also.
Yes.
So, like, you might have this knowledge about retaining money and buying assets that you want to pass down to your offspring. You want to let them know, hey, money is used for more than just spending. It's also used to create more money. So like just passing down that ideal, that could change the whole trajectory of your generation, your generational wealth. It can, yeah.
Exactly.
So basically create more generational wealth through that. So
Exactly. Nah, for
yeah.
sure. So marching down the rest of these, like you got to make sure that your goal is actually relevant too. Doesn't make sense for what you're doing, for what you want out of life. Your like ultimate goal, your purpose, your ikigai, all that stuff. Does your goal?
You guy.
Yeah, you heard that. You heard that before? No,
I
oh,
have.
you,
It's
oh, you
like your
heard it.
way of living, right?
It's
Your
more like your purpose. It's like it's a Venn diagram, right? Where one circle is what you can get paid for, another circle is what you're good at, another circle is what the world needs, and another circle is what you like to do. So, what you like to do, what you're good at, what you can get paid for, and what the world needs. That is your
yeah,
like the center of that is your ikigai.
that's your ninja way. I got it, man.
That's it. Better you gotta believe it, bro.
Gotta
Was it better?
believe it.
You better
I think he
believe it.
just says believe it. This one.
Oh, he just says
Yeah.
believe it. Oh, I'm messing up.
Yeah.
See?
That's what's up.
Yeah,
But
but so you got to make sure that it's relevant. Whatever you're doing, if it's like, oh, I want to be the most famous. What I mean, I can't think of one right now, but just making sure
don't
that your goal. Go
ju-
ahead.
just make sure your goal isn't wanting to be the best sneakerhead, because
Right.
that yeah,
But that's what I'm saying though. That could be someone's goal. Like if
to
it's
have the most
relevant
shoes.
to have the most shoes, if that's what really brings them joy and like if that's what they're passionate about, I don't know if the world needs a sneakerhead, but it's you know what I'm saying? Whatever your goal is, just make sure that your smart goal is relevant to your ultimate goal. Um, so that however you want to slice that. That's one of those it's like it's kind of hard because relevant to you is and relevant to someone else is like it's really up for grabs. So
I think I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like some people have dumb goals, bro. Like I feel like I'm just gonna be real, cause like if you're thinking that superficial, like to where you're putting every, I feel like that's the problem. I feel like
mhm,
you're part of the problem. I'm sorry. I feel like you're part of the problem. I feel like people of our culture, black people, we haven't had a whole lot of time to do it because segregation ended like 63, 1964.
mhm.
So I understand that we don't have the generational mindset that Europeans were able to pass down. But now there's no excuse because we have so much available to us. We're able to get this information, but of course you have to receive it, and we're able to pass it down. Like, stop passing. You can't. Jordans are gonna be worthless by next generation. Okay, we got to pass down things that appreciate and not things that depreciate. We got to stop buying all these lavish cars, all these lavish $1,000 shoes, which is crazy. I got people that work. I've seen teachers buying $1,000 shoes. Like, that's insane. We're not like, you're not a rapper. Like, you're not making what they're making. You can't. People are trying to live these lavish rapper lives on a teacher income, and it
Yeah,
just doesn't make sense to me.
definitely living beyond your means is something that we preach about a lot. That's how you get stuck and kept in that rat race and complain about the rat race when honestly the
And complain
solution
about
is you, but the problem is you, the solution is you, but you complain and say that it's everyone else's fault. That's the shit that gets me. You
yeah.
feel me? Like you got to take accountability, man. You can't just be out here, like you said, living. Don't get me wrong, enjoy your life, right? But at some point, you have to understand that there are things that need to get done, and there's like a time and place for everything. You can't always spend all the money. You can't always go on trips. You can't always buy what you want. Realistically, there are times when you have to focus on growth and not go so heavy on deletion of funds just to have a good time. It's like, what is that? I mean, we talk about delayed gratification.
Yes.
Basically, it's like, hold on, wait. Japan isn't going anywhere. These shoes are probably still going to be for sale. That game system, people might not be playing it anymore, but you can buy it later. You don't have to have that thing right now. So, just making sure that you understand that the choices you make or the decisions you make really define where your future is going to be, essentially.
And what I don't think people understand is what you do early on
Hmm.
will make the future 10 times easier. So it's so if I'm working and I'm putting this money aside, like from the age of 20 to 30, it's different than doing that from the age of 30 to 40. You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying? Because at the end, you're gonna have a whole lot more money because of the compound interest. So if you put in the work earlier, you're straight. You
yeah,
won't have to worry about half the things. You can do whatever you want because you've already put in the work. You don't have to struggle later.
right. And the reality is, if you take that much time, it's not even hard. Like, it's not a struggle. It's a little bit over a long amount of time. Like, I got cousins that are 21, 22, and I'm like, hey, look, all you got to do is put $100. And when you're my age, and I can say that now because I'm over the age of 30, when you're my age, you will have, or it's expected that you will have this much money. So why not just do this little thing that's really not gonna hurt you?
It's
Like
not gonna hurt you.
$100 a month, $150 a month is like minuscule. If they all have jobs and they're all buying things that they can do without using that same $150, realistically, they just are.
Right. Right.
Um,
But no one
so
wants to hear that. No one
yeah,
wants to. If you tell somebody that, they're gonna be like, "Nah,
and
I
they
can't."
don't even like. It's like it's hard for them to see 10 years from now, even more so, right? Like they're like, today, tomorrow, next week, maybe next year. But you start talking like in the next 10 years, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm just 21. I'm just 22. That ain't got
They,
nothing to do with
they favorite phrase is "tomorrow isn't promised." But the thing is, the average life expectancy is like 80 years old, bro.
it. Yeah.
It's like 80 years old.
Yeah.
So 10 years later, they still saying the same thing. Tomorrow ain't promised. Yeah, you said that 10 years ago, and look.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then of course the last of the smart, the last bit of creating a smart goal is making sure that it's time bound. Right. And I think what we just talked about was our yearly goal. But don't let it stop at a year. Have a 5 year goal. Have a 10. I mean, really, 1, 3, 5, 10, whatever time measurement you want to make. Right now, we're talking about the New Year's resolution. So normally, New Year's resolutions are like within that year you want to complete it. So something that can be achieved, and this is also around the realm of attainability. Something that can be done within that year frame. Giving yourself a time limit, right? Knowing when you might need to speed things up, knowing when you might need to change goals because you are already about to reach your goal and you still have time left. So always putting a time limit on your goal is good too. just to make sure you're in alignment with the timeline you made. And like you, if you hit your goal 4 months into the year that you gave yourself, create a new goal. So yeah, man. It's funny, you said dumb goals, and I actually searched, and like they have an acronym for that.
What's the acronym,
I
bro?
remember that. I was like, I wonder if that's a thing. But I think
Dumb goals. Yeah.
dumb goals, bro. But I think they are more. I'm about to say it. So it's a goal setting philosophy that encourages people to set exciting and challenging goals that are dream driven. That's the D. So like dream driven, uplifting, like exciting, still measurable, and then behavior driven. That's a dumb goal, bro.
But that
So
doesn't sound dumb.
I think I think the whole you're right. It doesn't seem like a negative. I think it's just
Yeah.
like a. It was another acronym like audacious goal, like something that just is like there's no way you could do it. Like that is a dumb goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
something just crazy. I think what you were talking about was just like not important goals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like
Like yeah, like not important. Because when
silly
you think
goals.
about it, a lot of people who make these like businesses or start these companies, they have dumb goals because they are huge dreamers. They have this
Yes.
idea of something that has never been done before. And I
I
think
agree.
that that is not in the realm of smart, right? Like measurable, attainable, make sure that you, it's like, nah,
Okay.
forget that.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to shoot for the moon. Like that is a dumb goal, which I don't think that's a bad thing.
Right.
That's,
That's a
you know
great
what I
thing.
mean? Yeah.
It's yeah. It
Yeah.
I was
But
more so talking
yeah, go ahead.
I was more so talking about like people caught in that cycle.
Yes. Yes.
And just buying things that diminishes their wealth. And
Mhm.
that's what I was speaking on, or having a goal that does nothing positive for them or their community. Like buying shoes, they make your feet look good, but it's like,
But buying shoes for the less fortunate, that's a different thing. You know what I mean?
that's different. But I think that that's not the same as being a sneakerhead.
Absolutely not, bro.
Well,
Yeah, I was just messing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But nah, man. Yeah, we really just wanted to make sure that this was a reminder that this is the halfway mark of the year, right? Like we are 6 months in. Um, and just a reminder to keep pushing towards your goals. If you have achieved them, congrats. If you have not achieved them, if you're still on the road, just keep pushing. You are already off the sideline by creating the goal and starting to work towards that goal. So kudos to you if you're listening. Um, and yeah, just continue to set those goals um, and hit those marks. What you got for him, Cornell? You want to wrap it up or what?
yeah. I think y'all got this. Just remain intentional. I feel like that's the biggest part because you can achieve anything, and don't let people talk you out of your goals. You can do it. Okay, just because somebody else failed in that exact same thing doesn't mean that you can't do it. So take your advice with a grain of salt. You know what you can do. You are not built like them. You are built different. So keep it pushing.
There you go. All right, man. Well, like as always, we appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. This was another awesome episode. Um, as always, you can find us on social media, Investors Playbook LLC, YouTube, Investors Playbook LLC, podcast. If you're listening, then you already know because you're on one of those platforms. But
Right.
share it with your friends, leave us a review. I've been getting some really good comments from the episode, and I really appreciate like just the feedback that I've been getting from anyone that's tuning in. So thank you. It definitely helps create the episode and make it something that we think our listeners are looking for. So just appreciate you all.
Thank y'all.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.